wabarakatuh. My name is Noratika Zahra binti Abdul Wahab, and today me and my friends would like to discuss a forum about the aspects of learning foreign language. But first, I would like to introduce our panel for today. Panel 1, we have Muhammad Hulaif Aiman. How are you?
Yeah, it's quite fine.
Yeah, you're quite fine. Have you eaten lunch?
Yes,
Okay.
let's do it.
Alright, thank you. And next we have panel 2, Muhammad Shariza. How are you?
Well,
You're well.
yeah,
You just came back from work, is it?
yeah.
Oh, good. Alright. Next we have the panel 3, our third panel for today, sorry. Bani Mujahida, how are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly we have our beloved Nur Akilah binti Alex. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
For our topic today, as I mentioned, we will be discussing, the panels will be discussing about the aspects of learning foreign language. So, panel 1, what is your opinion on it?
So about learning a second language, I would say the most easiest aspect to implement in our daily lives. Pronunciation, as it is easy. Just try to pronounce the word. An example would be maybe another word from another language, such as from French. Okay, for English speaker, it would say Paris of France. But if it was from a French speaker, they would pronounce it as France or Paris. Okay, so it's not really distinguishable, but yeah, there are differences in that. And the reason why I say it's the easiest is because all you need to do is try to imitate the sound first. Now from here, maybe I can relate to another aspect, which is listening aspect. As when you listen, you can do the sound and how to voice it out. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Alright, thank you. You gave such an excellent point. What about our next panel?
Okay, for me, I choose small group conversation as a very effective aspect to help learners improve their foreign language skills. The question is, how small group conversation can help learning in foreign language? My first point is they can practice speaking, because in a small group setting, learners have more opportunities to practice speaking. They can engage in conversation with their peers and receive immediate feedback, which can help them improve their pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. My second point is they can increase their confidence, because speaking a foreign language can be intimidating sometimes, especially if the learner is just starting at the first place. However, in a small group setting, learners may feel more comfortable and confident speaking in front of their peers. This can help them overcome their fear of speaking and increase their confidence, the ability to communicate in the foreign language. So, next point is small group conversation can provide learners with the opportunity to learn about the culture of the foreign language they are studying, like cultural exchange. They can exchange ideas and perspectives with their peers, which can help them gain a deeper understanding of the language and its cultural context. My last point is small group conversation can encourage learners to be more active in the learning process, which is we call active learning. They can ask questions, make connection, and engage in discussion with their peers, which can help them to retain information more effectively. That's all from me.
I agree with that. For an example, all of us right now, we're communicating well behind the camera, but it also we also like we're communicating but learning new things at the same time also. Alright,
Yes.
you give a good point. What about our next panel?
Well, me personally, I believe that the most effective way of language acquisition is by reading. Me, I grew up learning English by reading, and because the story is interesting, I would want to learn more. Let's say if the story is in English, but I don't know the word. I don't know what they say. I don't know what the dialogue is about. I only know little bits of pieces of it. But it seems the plot is interesting to me, so I would go on Google and search what the words mean, what are they saying, what is going on here and there. And in the long way round, it helps me by improving my English. Yes, that's all.
Does it include for like visual learners to like read on like let's say on the TV screen?
Yes.
Yeah, does it also include that?
Yes, it is by all kind of reading. You can read on novels, telephones, even on TV. You know, we have like the news articles. They say we as a child will be interested in reading, even if it's like the minuscule. We will get close to the TV to learn it, right? Yes.
Alright. Thank you. What about our last panel?
For my opinion, as a student from USL, I think writing is the most basic learners can use. Actually, writing can help you to think. It's actually necessary to help the human mind to achieve its full potential. It also allows the writer to concretize abstract ideas and to connect the dots in their knowledge, which is like, for example, for me, based on my experience, I always take note what does the lecturer say in our class, and then I will easy to revise my notes. That is my point.
Okay, thank you. Everyone gave such lovely points, lovely and very notable points. But are there any other like counterpoint you guys want to add on or anything? The floor is yours.
I would like to ask, if for those who are small conversation, I would like to ask you, what about those who are not confident because they are not as influent as their peers?
I think the only thing that they can do is maybe search for some people that know how to increase their confidence.
So you mean by searching friends that encourage them to learn more instead of looking down on them?
Oh. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, what I mean is, when you are talking, the small conversation is by talking around your peers and friends. But what if the person who is not as fluent as their friends get inferiority complex or something? What to do in this situation? As a parents as well.
I think maybe he can try to adapt with them as well, like talking to them every day so he can go with the flow maybe.
Can I ask more?
Yes.
Okay. If you say by go with the flow, right, it doesn't mean that their confidence will go up. It stems from our heart. The inferiority, the ugly feeling that we feel in our heart stems from ourselves.
No, because I think if they find his or she circle correctly, if their friends willing to help them to be fluent like them, so I think it's a good thing. And the person who doesn't have have low self-esteem and low confidence, maybe someday he can increase their confidence by speaking to them every day.
So you mean that by their friends helping them, the likability of being inferior to them, the feeling of you being inferior will be less. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Okay, I have a question. Your part was listening, right? Listening. The aspect. Writing. Writing. Okay, I have no question for you. Wrong person. Your part was pronunciation.
Yes.
Okay, does it also like involves to those that has like different accents and
Yes.
like for example there are some dialects and whatnot.
Yes, it does. I mean, by learning another language, we need to adapt to their official or common dialect or accent. Maybe you're from Malaysia, so you have Manglish or something like that. The difference is sometimes people who are from Malaysia and use English not proficiently, they might mix their first language sentence structure in their second language sentence, something like doubling the word. More an example, in Malay we say malu-malu kucing, but in English they might misinterpret it as shy cat, which could be awkward and revealing their lack of proficiency in their second language. Another point is, if they know how to use or build a sentence grammatically structured correctly, that doesn't mean they can speak it properly. Maybe they have their own accent, like Scottish or Irish, which could become a blundering problem in their conversation. Maybe one of them using an RP accent or Queen's English, which is in other words, the BBC English, the one that our standard use. If a Scot person will use English, they might speak in a different tone, and the other person might confuse with it. Maybe if a Scottish person were going to say I play bagpipe, they do not say I play bagpipe. They say I play bagpipe, something like that, and it will not be clear in their daily conversation. So, yeah, that's it.
Actually, I want to ask to Mr. Ulay, for your point to listening. What parts of listening? Is this like they can listen to music or like some program or like some forum or seminar?
Yes, that's absolutely true. Listening doesn't always mean they listen to lecture. Listening also apply to other listening activities, such as just like what you said, music, podcasts, forum, and other kind of audio. It also would be related to interactionism, as they interact with their environment, thus they acquire the language.
For your answer. And I want to add some more for Bunny.
Yes.
I want to know, what about a student that have low motivation to read or like some kind of mental health issue?
Can I take a question as asking if a student has low motivation to learn or read the text?
Yes, and I want to know what the way.
Actually, for me, if you have noticed, especially you as a father yourself, if you have noticed, schools have implemented students to read a certain amount of books in a month or weeks. And I, as an English teacher myself, I would encourage my student to read like a light novel from the library, which they can borrow one each month. And they would do a task given. Even if you have no motivation, we would push our students, not of course rashly, but gently. We would push our students and encourage them to write like a synopsis or summarization for the students. So even if they have no motivation, they can still learn, even if it is lesser than having the motivation itself. This actually can refer to the hypothesis of Stephen Krashen, which is the affective filter hypothesis, because the higher motivation you have, the easier it is to learn. Yes.
I would like to add, this also occurs on the movie Matilda. Yeah, when she was small, she was sneak into the library and she would just read all types of books, no matter how small she is. And then when she grows, she just knows everything right away by reading and everything.
Yes, the database of pieces can help students to learn more. As a teacher, I think that is very important. Also, I would like to say to Mr. Hulayf, what he said about listening, I think that can also relate to grammar rules. Because like what you said, the malu-malu kucing or shy cat just now, right?
Yes.
Yes, I think that by learning the grammar rules, we as schools and teachers have implemented students to learn like the present tense, past tense, right? Because of that, we can avoid this situation. So I think that is also an important aspect of English acquisition, because those who do not speak properly will have their identity or their complex down. People will look down on them because they are not able to speak as fluently.
Alright. Is there anyone would like to add anything? Or should we wrap this up? Alright. Thank you to our respectfully beloved panel for all those very interesting discussion and points.
Thank you.
And
Let's conclude.
and can't think anymore.
concludes
And
our
that concludes our forum discussion for today. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.